Looking up at the night sky, the Milky Way seems like a soft ribbon of light stretched across darkness. It feels close, almost touchable, as if those stars are just beyond our reach. But what we see is only an illusion. In truth, every point of light is separated from us by distances so vast that ordinary numbers lose meaning. The universe doesn't just challenge our imagination, it overwhelms it. Here's a question: how big is the universe really? What lies beyond the planets we've visited, or the stars we see with the naked eye? How far do you have to travel before you run out of places to go? These are the kinds of questions that remind us just how small Earth really is. In this video, we're going to take a breathtaking journey of scale. We'll start here on our fragile blue world and move step by step outward, past the Moon, past Mars, beyond Neptune, through the Oort cloud, out to the nearest stars, across the Milky Way, and finally to the very edge of the observable universe. By the end, you'll have a whole new perspective on where we fit inside the cosmos. So, fasten your imagination. Our journey begins now. Earth and the Moon. Let's start small, our home. Earth is about 40,000 kilometers in circumference, a tiny oasis in the cosmic ocean. For most of human history, people believed it was the center of everything. It felt comforting to imagine the universe built around us. But science revealed a different truth. We live on a fragile blue sphere, orbiting an ordinary star on the outskirts of a galaxy. Our first neighbor is the Moon. From the ground, it seems close enough to touch, but the average distance is 384,000 kilometers. To put that in perspective, you could line up 30 Earths side by side between us and the Moon. If you drove non-stop at highway speed, it would take nearly 3 months to get there. And yet, in the 1960s and 70s, humans crossed that gap. Apollo astronauts, crammed into capsules no bigger than a car, flew across the void. 12 people walked on lunar soil, leaving footprints that will last millions of years. Still, in cosmic terms, that leap is just a baby step. In light's language, the Moon is only 1.28 seconds away, and that sets the stage for bigger jumps ahead. Mars, our neighboring world. Beyond the Moon lies Mars, the red dot that has fired human imagination for centuries. It seems visible and familiar in the night sky, but the numbers tell a harsher truth. On average, Mars is about 220 million kilometers from Earth, more than 570 times farther than the Moon. Traveling there is no simple matter. Because both planets orbit the Sun, engineers must launch a spacecraft during rare alignment windows. Even then, the trip takes about 9 months. For humans, that means confinement in a small capsule, exposed to radiation and isolation, with no immediate help if something goes wrong. Communication signals alone take between 12 and 20 minutes to cross the void, too long for a real-time conversation. And yet, Mars remains our most likely next home. Robotic explorers have already roamed its dusty valleys and frozen plains, sending back glimpses of a world both alien and strangely familiar. But compared to what's ahead, Mars is still in the backyard. To really feel the immensity of space, we must push beyond the rocky planets and travel outward to the edge of the solar system, Neptune and the outer solar system. Now, we leap past the gas giants toward the ice giant Neptune, the farthest known planet in our solar system. Its distance from Earth ranges between 4.3 and 4.7 billion kilometers. Even light, traveling at 300,000 kilometers per second, takes over 4 hours to make the trip. Very few human creations have ever reached this frontier. In 1989, Voyager 2 flew past Neptune, capturing hauntingly beautiful images of the planet and its moon Triton. Another probe, Voyager 1, didn't pass Neptune, but it achieved something even greater. It became the farthest human-made object. Today, Voyager 1 is more than 24 billion kilometers away. From that vantage point in 1990, it looked back and photographed Earth as a tiny, pale blue dot, just a fraction of a pixel in a beam of sunlight. Carl Sagan turned that image into a timeless reflection. Every human who has ever lived, every war and triumph, every story you've ever heard, all occurred on that speck of dust suspended in a cosmic void. But as far as Voyager has gone, it still hasn't left the sun's domain. To reach interstellar space, we need to cross another invisible boundary, the Oort cloud, and interstellar space surrounding the solar system lies the Oort cloud, a vast spherical shell of icy bodies extending tens of thousands of astronomical units from the sun. 1 astronomical unit, or AU, is the distance from Earth to the sun, about 150 million kilometers. By comparison, the Oort cloud may stretch nearly 2 light-years into space. Voyager 1, racing away at 17 kilometers per second, has entered interstellar space by one definition. It crossed the heliopause, where the sun's solar wind yields to the interstellar medium. But in another sense, it's still in the neighborhood. At its current speed, it will take about 300 years just to reach the inner Oort cloud, and perhaps 30,000 years to cross it completely. The nearest stars, the closest star system to us, is Alpha Centauri, about 4.37 light-years away. Its faint red companion, Proxima Centauri, is slightly nearer at 4.24 light-years. That distance might sound small compared to the Oort cloud, but let's break it down. 1 light-year equals nearly 9.5 trillion kilometers. Multiply that by 4, and you begin to see the scale. If we tried to make the journey with Apollo-era technology, the trip would last around 100,000 years, longer than all of recorded human history. Even our fastest probes would need tens of thousands of years. To reach the stars in a human lifetime, we'll need radical new methods. Perhaps laser sails that push nanocraft at a fraction of light speed, or nuclear propulsion, or concepts that today exist only on whiteboards. For now, the stars remain our unreachable neighbors, glowing faintly across the void. The Milky Way, our galaxy. The Milky Way is a majestic barred spiral containing hundreds of billions of stars. For a long time, astronomers estimated its diameter at about 100,000 light-years. Newer observations suggest it might be larger, perhaps 150,000 or even 200,000 light-years across. Our Sun lives in the Orion Arm, a modest spur between two major spiral arms. On clear nights, we can see a band of light sweeping overhead. Those stars belong to just a tiny fraction of the galaxy, visible because they're relatively close. In fact, every star you've ever seen with the naked eye belongs to our galaxy and represents only a few tens of thousands out of hundreds of billions. It's like mistaking a single handful of sand for the entire beach. Orbiting the galaxy's center, our Sun makes one full trip roughly every 225 million years. That means, during the time dinosaurs roamed Earth, our solar system was on the opposite side of the Milky Way, the observable universe and beyond. Maybe we're not. Either way, our responsibility is the same. Take care of our fragile home. Explore what we can and share what we discover. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video, for there are still endless journeys waiting beyond the stars.